Hi, I'm Jeff LaMarche, and this is Waupaca Local Live. Spent youth long in the tooth, and so I can't even tell the truth. You're smart, so I don't want to start. I don't want to be the one who breaks your heart. You don't care, you got nice hair, a bit oblivious, and it's too much to say. It sends me reeling. Not enough to say I'm so surprised. From this vantage point, I can see through your eyes. I'd like to say, in coming here today, I give you something that will never go away. But I confess, I'm just like all the rest. I'm only halfway when I'm giving it my best. You know I'm plus, your smile starts to rust. It's hard to counter that, and it's too much to say. It sends me reeling. Not enough to say I'm so surprised. From this vantage point, I can see through your eyes. Sends me reeling, so surprised. I can see through your eyes. Play dead, holding your head, looking like a book that wants to get read. Dear heart, it's better not to start. They just admonish you for being such a tart. I don't care, I see it everywhere. It still looks cute on you, and it's too much to say. It sends me reeling. Not enough to say I'm so surprised. From this vantage point, I can see through your eyes. Thank you. That song is old-ish now at this point. Have you heard it before?
I must have heard it. I knew it, so.
You knew it?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Good. Hopefully it's one of those songs that you just know the first time you hear it.
Yeah, that's a good song. So do you have like a recording of this song on one of your many, many recordings?
I don't have many, many recordings. That one is on Interplanetary Love Songs with Everyone's Garden. And that, it's probably, 15, 20 years old by this time.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Wow. And so there's harmony on that, right?
There is, yeah. Jenny typically sings harmony.
Okay. Because I was hearing that harmony part and thinking, I should go up and sing with him.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I did send a disc here to the studio. I don't know if you guys got that or not.
We will make sure they have it. It'll go into our rotation. So just so everybody knows, we're just kind of jumping right into it here, which is awesome. But we're on 96.3 and 99.1, and both of those stations play an awful lot of local music. They play everything that we've had on our show for the last 6 or 7 years, and many, many times throughout the week. It's not just like 1 hour of local music, but I think it's almost every night. So tune in after hours and listen to the great variety of music. So you're in there, I'm sure, because you've been on the show before.
Okay.
But we will make sure that we have your stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
Jeff
no, I always
LaMarche.
try to catch it every time I drive through this area.
Do you?
Yeah, you can get for about 20 minutes on the interstate. It's when you're driving. So
it's a low power station.
It is a low power station, but it's worth it because I hear some great music on there. I hear some B-sides you don't often hear.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And they have a nice mix during the day too. Well, let's talk about you. So you are an incredible musician. I know that. And people who've been out to see Irene's Garden know that. You have quite a fan base with that. But here you are solo, which is...
That's weird for me.
Apparently unusual. Maybe the first time. I don't know.
Kind of.
Not the last.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah. I've here and there played like a handful of like dinner gigs where I played jazz guitar and just basically like, loop 16 bars and then just try to comp over that. But this is like actually like getting up to a microphone that we're going to be doing later tonight at the Grand National Lounge.
Right.
So that's a first for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does it feel funny to be by yourself and not with your compadres, comadres?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does feel really weird. I'm not normally nervous before gigs.
Yeah.
I'm usually the guy who's talking to other people like, hey, it's going to be okay. You're going to be great. Just come out of the porta potty. Let's get back up on the stage.
The porta potty. Oh my God! Did you have the naked dream last night?
No,
Okay.
I didn't have a naked dream.
The naked dream always means you're feeling exposed and nervous. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
anyway,
right. I wasn't that
in the future.
exposed and nervous.
All right. So you. So this is new territory, kind of for you, which is. You wouldn't know. I mean, it's like you have a whole band with you here. And we're going to get into talking about these pedals and this looping system. We've had some looping people on here before, but it's fascinating.
Oh, it's.
I find it fast. Let's talk about it right now. It's
fascinating. It's
fascinating.
going to be kind of old tech at this point. I think
Right.
the first time I got into it was like late 90s, early 2000s. There's a company called Boomerang.
Yeah.
And I missed my Boomerang pedal. It was such a wonderful pedal, and it was so useful. I could use it for all sorts of stuff besides looping. Mm-hmm. Now it's like, it's like Cracker Jack electronics. It's just like really super common. What I'm doing right now is I'm using this reverb pedal that I actually got just because I wanted to be able to turn reverb on and off, because sometimes I like to turn the reverb off. And it also has a looping pedal. It's like, okay, well that's useful. I don't use it very often, but for this kind of thing, it comes in really handy.
Wow. All right. So the looping, just for people who aren't aware, and you notice at a point in his song where he stopped singing and then he had his guitar solo, but his other guitar was still playing. And so what he has is his guitar is going through this pedal, and he can click it, and it will record a stanza or a section of that. And it's like a loop, and it'll keep playing that, and then he can play something else along with it.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's a simple thing. I mean, I always hear people say, oh, it's really simple, but to get used to doing that and to know how to do it and to do it well is actually, I think, pretty polished.
It's a little bit tricky to get the back end of the loop to come around and hit the front end without missing a beat. So it's really hard to use with other musicians. It's hard to use with a drummer. You got to have a special drummer who's going to work with you with it, and they're going to listen for it. They're going to follow the loop as opposed to, I think drummers are used to everybody following them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Darn drummers.
Oh, but they're so useful. We love our drummers.
Oh. So let's just kind of shift gears for a minute, I guess. I'd like to just get a little bit of background as to where you came from, how you got to where you are now. So you're this kid, and you started playing guitar. Like, was that your first instrument, or was it piano lessons, or drums?
It was piano lessons. I really wanted to play violin when I was a child, and that never worked out. It was. My dad took the family to see Fiddler on the Roof, and that was it for me. I was just like, who is it? Was it Isaac Stern? I think.
I don't know.
That played. But right, and I was just fascinated with the instrument, and I wanted to play the violin. They're like, you got to take piano lessons first. So that's how they wrote me into piano lessons, and that was good. I played piano for 4 or 5 years.
How old were you?
Probably about 6. 5,
Okay.
6, somewhere in there. I'm
Okay.
not-
Because
got
I saw
really
you
foggy
did
memories.
you did a little video on your page where you were playing one of the, I think it was one of the inventions, box
Yes.
inventions.
Yeah.
That's not an easy thing to play. So, you know, so you're telling me that at age 11 you got to the level of playing inventions?
Somewhere
just kinda-
around there. I don't
Wow.
know when it was, but it was. I think when I was a teenager, I kind of had this like hot and cold love affair with the piano, and I would just kind of pick it up and put it down again.
Sure.
Once the electric guitar dropped into my life, then that was it. Though.
So when was that?
That was around 10.
Okay. And
So-
where'd you get your first guitar?
My first guitar was it was a really cheap acoustic that my brother gave me. I don't know where he got it from. He was staying with us at my parents' cabin for a while when I was a kid, and he was going to move to California to become a famous artist, which more or less did. And he handed me the guitar and said, and I was like, oh, I can't take this. This is an expensive instrument. And he laughed. He's like, no, it's not. So, that kind of kicked around for a while until I got really interested in it and, kind of delved into that. Here and there, I would take lessons, but I never really, stuck with lessons for more than a few times.
Right.
So.
It's kind of hard to find, or it had been, I think, in the past, hard to find guitar teachers. Right now, I feel like there are people who are great players that are willing to teach and enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I know when my son was young, there was this one old man.
Max?
I don't remember his name, but it was kind of like he wanted to play, folk music, and Ian wanted to play Jimi Hendrix, and it wasn't a matchup, and it was hard to find. But anyway, so you found somebody, you took some lessons, and when did you start playing in bands?
High school.
Okay.
I guess I had
Are
a
you
band
from
in high
Point?
school. No.
Where was this happening?
So high school, I went to St. Lawrence Seminary, which is a boarding school. That's a whole story in itself. I don't even want to delve into that, but
Okay.
that's probably where I put together my first band.
Okay.
And it was just us kids, just us boys, and I think we had I don't even know if we had a bass player. I think we might have had like a guitar that we tuned down to get some of the lower notes.
Okay.
Turn the treble down on the amp. But that's where I kind of got into it, and hanging out in the band room, as one of the band dweebs.
Uh-huh.
So that was fun. I don't know, and from there it was, just doing everything I could to get into bands because I really wanted to play.
That really resonated with you. That was where you found
It's fun.
your jive.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
we still do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's interesting and I think good to talk about it, because I think if a parent has a kid and they weren't musicians, they may not understand the energy that these kids get from playing music together. It's really important, and it also becomes part of your identity. You think of yourself as a musician and you're solid in that. And I think that's really important for kids. Important for adults too.
Yeah, we have to define ourselves in our own ways.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Instead of I am my job.
Yeah. Right. Because it's an inner thing too. But so okay, I'm going to ask you to play another song. But what was the name of that last song again?
So Surprised.
Okay.
Yeah,
And that was, so you said that was on a previous CD. Are your CDs available anywhere?
They're at this point come to an Irene's show.
Okay.
That one, I think that album is available on SoundCloud. I just posted it on SoundCloud.
Oh,
So you
okay.
can just
Go
listen to it or download it or what
Awesome.
have you. I don't remember when that came out. I think it was like 2008. So it's
Okay.
already getting aged.
It's a good song though, it doesn't matter. So what are you going to play next?
What am I going to play next? I'm kind of drawing a blank. Let's see. There's 4 songs. There was that one. There's Love and Lightning. There was Well, this one, what is this one called?
You don't need to tell us the name. You
I
can
don't
just
need
play
to
it.
tell you the name.
No,
Yeah.
you'll come up
I'll
with
come
it.
up with it. I think
We're
it's in
going to
the,
get
I
it
think
when
it's
you
in the,
start singing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the fourth song? I don't remember it right now.
It's okay.
I'm on the spot.
Yeah,
The
it's
spotlight.
fine. You know what? That happens to me a lot too, so I get it.
Does
All right,
it?
Jeff LaMarche, you guys.
You guys. Here we go around again, it never ends, just keeps on spinning round, my friend, eternally. Beneath this big blue canopy, with this moment now, I only care to let myself breathe in the air and feel the sun against my skin. Let's come alive again and again. Late at night and I'm alone, remember people that I've known, the storylines we once lived in. My memories fade and dim, so drop a line, send a sign, tell me things are going fine. It's always later than I think, my standing on the pinnacle of the brink. Is that what you wanted? Is that what you wanted to be for you and me? Stand on and stand fine and work until you're deaf and blind for just some fleeting fantasy, some promise of prosperity. This moment now, I only care to run my fingers through your hair and feel your lips against my skin. Make us come alive again and again. Is that what you wanted? Is that what you wanted to be for you and me? Is that what you wanted? Is that what you wanted to be for you and me? Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're such a kind audience.
That was another beautiful song.
Oh, thank you.
So tell me about what that song was about.
I don't know.
Are you writing the music and the words?
I'm right. Yeah, I'm writing the music and the words. I don't know. It's kind of just about normal stuff. Just the way I was feeling when I wrote it, probably mostly. So.
It's whoever hears it interprets it, right?
There you go. It's art. You have to interpret it.
You have to.
for
It's
yourself.
up to you to interpret it, right?
Yeah.
So when did you actually start writing music?
I haven't actually written a whole lot of music in my days. So I mean, I've taken running stabs at it over the years, and have probably written an awful lot of really crappy music. And then I think the time that I really focused on it was when I did The Story of the Eye with Irene's Garden.
I was going to mention that. What do you mean you don't write music? You wrote an opera.
Well, it seemed
Who
to me
writes
like
an
it
opera?
had to get written. It had to get written. It was such a weird idea I had. I had to actually just kind of see it through to the bitter end, and the whole thing was a fiasco in and of itself. So yeah.
Okay, says the person writing the music. But, from the outside, it's like this guy who lives in our area wrote and recorded a rock opera. It's phenomenal.
Well, thank you. I wish I would have done a better job at it.
Yeah.
I think
That's the
probably
problem.
everybody thinks,
It's on tape, and there it is.
There it is, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, we had issues with the band. The band broke up while we were like in the middle of it, and it was kind of like, okay, let's just get this out there. Let's just get it going and get to the other side of it. And there's problems with like I had it duplicated in this company in Canada, which shouldn't have been a big deal because it's right there. It's just it's just across the bridge, and there's Canada. And but it got stuck in customs.
Oh no!
So and then
wow.
it said that the disc came. We had our friend Mary Sundstrom do the artwork for it, and so the lyrics are a 20-page comic book. And the problem is 20 pages when they're printed. And they're slapped in half, and they're stuffed in these little jewel cases.
Yeah.
There's like not enough room in the jewel case to accommodate a 20-page comic book.
Right.
So.
But you were onto something.
Yeah, I was
Like,
onto something.
If you could do it again, I mean that. So jewel cases, I don't think we use those very much anymore, right? Like
no,
we're
you want to
using
use paper.
less plastic,
Yeah.
which is good. But the concept is phenomenal. I mean, you got to have an incredibly creative brain to think of. First of all, you've got a story that you're writing music to, and then you had artwork, and it had a comic book that went with it. That's amazing.
Well, thanks. Yeah, it was fun. It was a fun project.
Do you ever like when you're playing with Irene's, play any of the songs out of that?
The one we still play that gets on the set list is, I think it was called When Bob Met Jane, and it's kind of a funk piece.
Okay.
It's got a little bit of a weird. It's got an extra couple of beats in it that every time it comes around, which you might not notice. If you're a drummer, you'd notice. Mm-hmm. So my own personal opinions, my personal philosophy about writing music is like every song has to have something in it, something different, something that makes it special. So it's not just chomping through chords.
Okay.
So, like the first piece that I played here was we're just locking back on those two chords, but then there's this other part. So and then that comes earlier and earlier every time I go through it. So I don't know. You listen back to the recording, you'll notice
I will.
that.
Yeah, that's intriguing.
And so it kind of gets to me. It feels like it's speeding up as we go, but it's not. Of course, it's playing to a meter.
Uh-huh. Okay. That's awesome. So you put a lot of thought, it's fun to talk to people who come on the show. Everyone that comes on the show does original music, so everybody writes music. And there's a lot of difference in the way people do it, and there's a lot of similarities in the way people talk about it. A lot of people feel like the songs kind of came through them. I don't know if you're...
They channeled them.
Yeah, they channeled them, or they came, like they just appeared and there they are.
I don't know where songs come from, because sometimes they do. They just show up.
Yeah.
Like it just shows up in your head, and I'm like, am I plagiarizing this?
Yeah.
Is this subconscious plagiarism?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's my process, yeah.
Yeah.
I never know if I heard it somewhere. And I always go through that anxiety for a few days of, come on, it just doesn't, where did this come from?
Yeah.
And then you'll play it for a couple trusted people, and they'll be like, no, I didn't hear that. Or it sounds like this.
Right.
Yeah.
I wonder if the thing to do is to just actually start with something that somebody else wrote and then
Devolve
doctor
it.
it up. Yes. Deconstruct it.
Yeah, deconstruct it. Yeah, that's cool. So there are also people that they want to write songs, so they sit down and they say, I'm going to write a song about XYZ, and then they create it that way. It's very much more intentional. And so do you ever do that?
I should do that.
No, should.
I should. Yeah. I think a lot of the story of the iDisc, I did sit down and think this is. But I mean, I had ideas going, but it was like I had to sit down and force myself to do it.
I think that would be similar to like if you were going to write a musical.
Yeah.
You would actually have to have a song for this part. You can't not, and so then you,
Right, it's a
you know,
musical.
and
You
those are
can't do all
valid too.
dialogue.
They're valid songs. It's just there's so many different ways songs come through, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
I'd like to think it's mystical or it's mystical or it's, you know, it's.
Did you ever have
angels.
a song come to you like in a dream, like when you were sleeping and then you woke up and there it was?
No. Does that happen?
I've heard that happens.
I never remember my dreams. I'm really just terrible at remembering my dreams. Maybe they come through and I just forget them by the time I wake up.
Okay. All right. So I want to hear another song. I think our
Okay.
audience does too. What's
Okay.
the next one going to be? Put you on the spot again. Remember the
Yep,
name. What was the name of that last one?
You and me.
You and Me. Okay.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
Because it's not you and I, because what indirect object, direct object. And also me rhymes. It's easier to rhyme. So the next one, let's see. The next one is. Okay, it takes a little bit of backup on this one. So this one's Le Caresse Raison. Which, so what it was, it's in English, but I wrote the song and Weedy, Prince Saudi, formats the music and brings to rehearsal. And I said, I'd like to try this out with the band, so could you print this out? And I sent it to him in a file that was called Name This Song. And he took that as a directive and named it Le Caresse Raison, which is French. It's part of, who is it, Blaise Pascal. Le cœur a raison que raison connaît pas. The heart has its reasons that reason doesn't know.
And is it a heart song? Is it a
it's
song
a love
about?
song.
It's a
Yeah.
heart song. Okay.
Yeah, and this is, I mean, as far as songwriting goes, this is kind of one of my favorite things to do in songwriting is to have things that to travel.
Yeah.
So I'm doing that. I'm doing that with the fifth there, and so I'm taking the first. There's a G chord, and so I'm taking that fifth, and then I'm bringing it up augmenting, bring it up to the sixth, and bringing it back down. And then there's another part in the song where I'm taking an A minor, and then I'm dropping the root.
Oh, okay.
And so
it's like
seven
it's inverting a little bit.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. So and that's one of those things that I do all the time, probably too much. So, but
I don't know. You know what? We should have a show about music theory. You think anybody would listen to it?
no, God, no. I would.
You wouldn't?
I would.
I would. I
listen
want to be on it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah. I watch like YouTube videos on music theory, and then I go, oh, I'm bad at this. I don't even understand what they're talking about.
It's so fun to be able to understand music at that level, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's really satisfying, and just you get in this zone. It's just great.
I've got like a working knowledge of music theory, just like, so that I can talk to other musicians about it. But when it comes to things like, I'm talking about voice leading and chord substitution and borrowing chords from a neighboring mode or something like that, it's just like, I don't know what to do with that. That's really interesting, but I don't know what to do with it. So
maybe in your next section of your life you can take music theory. Okay, so say the name of the song again, because I don't speak French.
Oh, well, it's Le Caresse Raison.
Le Caresse Raison.
You don't speak French? Your name is
No,
Merci beaucoup?
I know. No. I speak Spanish, funny enough, right?
Okay, all right.
All right, so we're going to have this lovely French-named song
Yeah,
from
no,
Jeff
it's in
LaMarche.
English. Yeah.
It's in English. Here we go.
Can't help it, my heart keeps beating my head around. The head tries to fight back, but gets kicked to the ground. To explain all the pain that the heart's about to entertain, but hearts and thoughts, it knows what it's always wanted and it won't abstain. Ain't no two ways about it, there's never any compromise. Yet I know I see your face every time I close my eyes. 'Cause you're always in my brain and I'm blaming my heart this time. It's down there pounding with no reason given to the rhythm or the rhyme. Lift me up, now let me fall. Fall for anything, I'm falling for you now. After some consideration, it's possible I'll change my mind. And I'm on the ropes with no one to tag me out this time. Gonna hand my heart the keys, let you drive where you please. I'll just sit here by your side, read the map and enjoy the ride.
So these songs are definitely have a style. It's kind of reminding me of the 80s for some reason.
Yeah.
I hope that you don't take that the wrong way, because I thought there's some great music in that era.
There was some great music in that era.
Yeah.
I'm trying to...
Kind of like that new wave, kind of offshoot of punk, kind of.
You know...
I'm not a musicologist, but I just remember that music.
Yeah.
Loved it.
I'm trying to think of who. I'm trying to think of some names to throw out there too.
The Ramones.
The Ramones?
The Ramones, yeah.
Yeah, I remember the first time I saw the Ramones. I was a real little kid, and I'd stayed up late to watch. I think it was Queen on Don Kirshner's rock concert, and this was like an early video before videos were really a thing, and it was Rock and Roll High School. I think it was what the song was, and I was like, whoa, who are these guys?
Yeah. Yeah, it has that sort of flavor. I don't know. I mean, I always loved that.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool.
I mean, if you listen to Irene's music, you can kind of tell which songs I wrote because they're all kind of pop sounding. You know, a lot of the stuff I do sounds like pop music.
Yeah. Do you think pop music has a bad name or a bad rep?
I mean, maybe. I mean, there's some lousy pop music in the world that's, you know, but there's lousy every kind of music.
There's lousy every kind of music, even classical music.
Sure.
Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, we
you
listen
can't
to the
just
stuff
say,
that
I love
lasts.
classical music.
Yeah.
You really can't.
I mean, the stuff we hear that we listen to is the stuff that stood the test of time, and hundreds of years later, we're still listening to.
So I wanted to just ask one dumb little question.
Yeah.
When you write songs, so how hard is it? How easy is it? The music hard, easy, or the lyrics hard, easy?
The lyrics are what I definitely struggle with.
Yeah.
So that's where, you know, I have to like really turn inward and come up with something clever, and you know, and it can't sound trite. It's you know, it can't sound too obvious. Although some great music has some pretty trite.
Some people can pull that off.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it is interesting where those rules come from, because they're not written anywhere, but you have the sensibility about it.
Right, and I think a lot of the rules are things we impose on ourselves, and I think that's actually, I think that actually is helpful to have, you know, if we have self-imposed limitations, that you know, I think that I don't know if it's about the human spirit wants to react against that, and or you want to work within those bounds, but you want to push those boundaries. So.
Wow. Have you ever gone to any kind of like songwriter workshops or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay. You could probably lead one. Or be,
Okay.
be on the panel.
I just
think you write great songs. They're really catchy and they're really uplifting, really. The music is uplifting. I'll have to listen again once this is over and listen to the words, but honestly, I mean, I think in some senses pop music is awesome. You know, it's this little thing that we can do for 4 or 5 minutes, and
it reaches a lot of people.
It does reach a lot of people.
It reaches the most number of people.
Right. So currently, you're playing with Irene's.
Yeah.
Irene's Garden. How long has that band been around?
Well, I think they started out as the Stelectrics in 1983. So I hadn't met any of those folks at that point in my life. So I didn't. I think they had that thing where they signed something with somebody. I don't know. I wasn't in the band at that time, and they lost the band name, the Stelectrics, which was like intellectual property that they sold. I don't know exactly how it works. And so when they reformed with different musicians as Irene's Garden, which I don't know where the name came from. I've heard rumors it's Wheaty's aunt, Irene, maybe.
Oh, okay.
I think that was like 93, 94, somewhere around there. And then I started playing with them in 2000, I believe.
Okay.
So.
Do you play with any other bands?
I have. Presently, no.
Okay.
You know, I've played with a bunch of different outfits in the area. When I first moved to the area, my first gig, well, let me back up. I guess I had a band called the Stone Tones in the 90s with my friends Joe and Becky, and then bass player de jour. We went through a lot of bass players, so I don't know what it was about bass players, or maybe it's us. And then I played with a band called, what were they? Something Thunder. It was a country band in the area with John Martin. I can't remember. It was named after the roller coaster in Disney World.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if it was named after, but there's a roller coaster in Disney World with the same name. So let's see, there's that. I played with the Indigo Jazz Ensemble.
Okay, so you do delve into jazz?
Yeah, I'm not a jazz guitar player. That might be something that, you know, I spend a retirement doing. So I don't know. There's so much there that it's just like way beyond me. Let's say I played with the Q for a while. I don't know if you remember the Q.
I don't remember the Q.
They were kind of a popular band in the area. It was Sean Mulligan, I think, is the person. I think he still has things that he's doing. He doesn't live in the area anymore, but that was fun. So I don't know if I'm forgetting anything. I'm sure there's other like little projects. Oh, I had the Dangerous Kittens. The Dangerous Kittens was me and my friend Buzz, and I'm doing some of this tonight at the Grand National Lounge. So if you're watching, come out. So that what I do is I take a bass guitar, I put it on an X stand. You can look at my Facebook site, and if you scroll way down towards the bottom,
I
there's
think I've seen some of that. Yep.
Yeah, so I'm playing the bass with my right hand, and the guitar just kind of comping chords with my left hand.
Yeah.
And then using loopers to just try to bring it all together.
Yeah, you've done a lot of that kind of really creative stuff with your instrument that I've seen over the years on your Facebook page.
Oh.
And even just your techniques and all these pedals that you use to just accompany yourself is really amazing. And like when you come up with your right hand on the neck and kind of, what is that called when you do that?
Two-handed tapping.
Tapping, you're tapping. That's awesome.
Most of the stuff that I do is covers with that. No, we can't play covers. So maybe we can if they're old enough. I don't know.
We've had maybe a total of, in 7 years, maybe 4 cover songs on the show.
Yeah, and
so
did the RIA get wind of it?
Pretty non-existent. I think we did allow it when we had a jazz person on. They did some standards, but that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been really a treat. We get to get one more song out of you.
Okay.
And so tell us about this last song that you're going to do.
Last song is just one that I wrote for myself.
Okay.
I don't. It's called Love and Lightning. I just grabbed some lyrics out of the middle of it because I thought they were kind of clever. Is there anything special about this one? I don't know. I guess you'd have to listen to it and think if there's anything special about it. It's super new. I just wrote it in the last couple months. So,
oh, wow. Okay, well, thank you for letting us hear it.
As well as the last one that I played, although that one I've had a chance to get out and play with the band a bit.
Okay. All right. So Jeff LaMarche on Waupaca Local Live.
All right. Thank you. If I were you and you were me, we'd see the whole world differently. You would see it's still about you all the time. You would feel the joy inside, deep in my heart, where love resides and my soul hides. Both know why, but our lips lie. The world is cruel and doesn't care if love or lightning's in the air. Give it half a reason, it turns on you every time. In our glimpse, it's kind of sad. It doesn't stay. It runs away and ruins the day. I don't know why. I don't know why. Senses all in overdrive, needing more than to survive, needing what it feels to be alive. Looking in your eyes, I'm mesmerized, I'm paralyzed. Passing over all the rest to be with the one that I like best. Packing all my love up and sending it your way. Going to make a brand new start with the joy that's in my heart. May we never part. We both know why. Both know why. Thank you.